Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome back to another 5-Minute Friday. What do all these things have in common? Probably shouldn't have to ask you that if my thumbnail or title caught your eye. These are all 3D printed products, and you almost can't go anywhere nowadays on a website and try to buy something related to gold prospecting and not see something that's been 3D printed. I think it's here to stay, like it or not. I know some do, and I've seen a lot of comments where people do not like 3D printed products. But I think they have their place, and I think you're going to start to see more of it. 3D printing is gaining some momentum in the world of prospecting, and I think it's only going to be gaining more and more momentum. When I first bought the Cleanup Buddy, one of the comments I received was, I think, disappointment on his part that I would pay $90 for a 3D printed item. Well, when I bought it, I didn't really care if it was 3D printed. It was cool. I knew I would probably like it, and it had the Dream Mat in it, which I've never tried before, and it just seemed like a really neat piece to add to my collection, so I purchased it. He did, however, get me to thinking. The world of 3D printing was quite foreign to me. I always thought that the printers were hugely expensive. Why would I entertain the thought of buying a 3D printer, trying to make something like this, which I know I clearly couldn't, when I can just spend 90 bucks and buy one? Seemed like a no-brainer to me at the time. But he did get me to thinking, and that's when I started looking into the whole 3D printer world, and I didn't realize what a rabbit hole I was going to go into until I started doing the research. Holy cow. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Well, as soon as I hit search on YouTube about 3D printing, this whole new world opened up to me, and I found out that 3D printing is not that expensive, and it's really not that hard to do. That being said, I don't have a very creative mind. I can't come up with designs like this. I certainly don't know CAD enough to be able to take an idea, if I had it, put it into CAD, extrude molten plastic, and make the machine do exactly what I want it to do. So there I was, exploring the possibilities of what may lie ahead for me in this whole new world, and I was amazed at the things that are out there that I could make for free. There are thousands of items out there that people put on the internet, give you access to the files, and all you have to do is download them into what they call the slicer. That's the printer's program that takes the object and slices it into layers, because that's how these things print, one layer at a time, if you're not familiar with 3D printing. And boom, you've got a product at the end of the printing time. It's amazing. It really caught my interest. I used to think 3D printed objects were cheap and weak, and I think in the beginning they were. The technology was used mostly for toys and gadgets and things that were kind of neat, but whoopee ding dong, you know. But nowadays, with the printers the way they are and the plastics, these things can print everything from ABS plastic to nylon to Lexan or polycarbonate. It's amazing what you can do with a printer. Probably you know where I'm headed from here. Yes, I bought a 3D printer. Say hello to my new piece of equipment, the Bambu Lab A1 printer. Yes, after spiraling down that wormhole, I decided to break down and buy one. Moment of weakness, I guess. But it's like the best thing that I've done in a long time. Bambu Lab came on the scene back in 2020 with a couple of engineers at a DJI. Well, you know who DJI is, drone and action camera company. Their first printer, the X1, came out in 2020. It was pretty much designed to be a plug-and-play printer that anybody could run, and it was a huge success. And since then they've put out, I don't even know how many other models there are. I guess it doesn't matter, probably 4. But I bought the A1. I purchased this with the AMS unit. This is the automatic multicolor spool system, so you can change print colors midstream and it does it automatically. However, it wastes a lot of filament and I don't use it, but we don't need to go there. And yes, I'll be bringing this back around to gold prospecting, just bear with me. I thought it'd be pretty cool to give you a little history about these printers and how they came to be. So how has this actually helped me in all my gold prospecting besides buying 3D printed items? Yes, I've printed all kinds of stupid knick-knacky things, from pencil holders to little organizers, an SD card organizer, which has been super helpful. I'm not losing SD cards anymore as long as I remember to put them in there. Little mini gold pans that I use for some of them. I use for a weigh boat, or whatever you call them on a scale. They're kind of cool for that. Funnels. These things, they may look stupid, but I don't know if you know or haven't had one of these, but the holes for the water are not standard size holes, and it's really hard to find a fitting that'll fit in the hole and also fit into the tubing that they send, which is bilge pump tubing, by the way, if you didn't know. And it needs a fitting, and if you lose the fitting that comes with the thing, like I misplace stuff all the time, I've printed up a couple of these, and they look like that because they need to sit flat on the build plate. It looks funny, but it is functional. And of course, bins. And this is just a prototype, but if you remember the golden rule, it came with 16 screens, and they were in a pile and they kept falling over. So I designed this little screen holder, which I'm going to make bigger, so they nest down in there, and this thing's a little more stable. But this is just my first prototype. Designed it myself. I know, pat myself on the back. I thought it came out pretty good. Oh, and talk about the golden rule. Remember when I said, where is that thing? Remember when I said if you needed a little bit bigger container, that these Talenti containers will work? Well, what if you don't have a Talenti container around? You can make one. I made this, well, it's not a Talenti container, but it's the same thing, and it's got the threads on there, so I know it's not clear, but you can get clear filament. This container, I use these things all the time. They're a great size for putting classified material in. In fact, when you saw the printer running earlier, that's what I'm making, another one of these. But they aren't just a material holder. These are the nesting classifiers that I bought from my friends at High Plains Prospectors. And I designed this container so these would fit down in there snug. I can pour the dirt in and shake my material right in there. And if I have this labeled to the correct material size, there we go. I've got my material classified in a labeled container. Boom. Boom, done, Bob's your uncle. So to wrap this up, I think, like it or lump it, 3D printing is here to stay. Hopefully I've helped you out with a little bit of information on 3D printing. It's getting better, folks, and it's here to stay. You're going to find more and more and more equipment, I think, 3D printed. Y'all take care, you be good. Like I always say, live long and prospect, my friends. I'll see you on the next one. See you, bye.